Hello and welcome to day 13 of the Smiling Grape Advent Calendar. So today, Cloudwater. So Infinite Space, Juicy IPA. I've showed it to the camera. Forget that the camera's in the middle of the bloody Chromebook. So yeah, good old Cloudwater. Last time I seen Cloudwater was over at Nottingham's. Good evening, Jimmy. Nottingham's Craft Beer Festival, and actually spoke to the ex-Blue Monkey brewer Keir, who actually works over at Cloudwater now. I've actually got some reviews on a phone that I can't bloody get the reviews off because it's broke. So good evening, Addy. So this is Infinite Space. It's a Juicy IPA. Good evening, Thomas. Juicy IPA. Can't remember if I've ever had this before. 5.8% volume. Infinite Space is a marriage of high-quality ingredients and years of trying to perfect our craft. Using the unbeatable pairing of Citra and Mosaic, we've designed a modern hazy IPA that doesn't compromise on drinkability. Showcasing all the reasons we love this style of beer, there are big, juicy flavours of bright citrus berries and a little dankness, a soft, pillowy body, and a breezy finish. I do love what our breweries describe their beers. And most people drink it and go, yeah, it's tropical, yeah, citrus. And that's about it. But I suppose in some ways, to say the beer's this or that, it is fun. I've just had a lovely oak barrel aged imperial stout from Soy Brewing from Estonia. I have had one from Soy Brewing. I think it was gifted to me by Bum and Beer Reviews. It was a ginger impy stout. I'm sure it was back in the day. I've drank since then. I've fell asleep since then as well. Now savouring Sierra Nevada's Big Little Thing Imperial IPA. Ooh, good tasting beers. Fair play, fair play. So try not to pour it too fast and get a blooming stonking head on it. There you go. He pours it too fast, gets a big bloody stonking head on it. There we go. So looking on the camera, looks a lovely vibrant orange pour with a slightly big head. I never was the world's best beer pourer. Yeah, I'd be sacked if I worked in the pub. It took far too long to pour beer. Although I have been at tap rooms when there's been an overcarbonation on the keg, and they're there and they're pouring the beers out and they're struggling like hell because of the overcarbonation. And in some ways, in that sense, you're better off pouring some, putting it to one side and letting it calm down, and then pouring a bit out. Woof, jobs are good. And to be honest, with keg beer, does anybody else think that keg beer is too cold? I certainly do. You get a keg beer, you drink it, you're not getting no flavour straight away because there's the aroma that can't escape the coldness. Needs to warm up. So great beers, but €13 for 2 beers, respectively. Ooh. Yeah, this is the problem, isn't it? Beer drinking. Good evening, Darren. Beer drinking is quite the expensive hobby, unless you stick to, well, in the UK, supermarket beers, obviously. But if you want your big beers and your beers you can't get in the supermarkets, you are going to pay more. It's as simple as that. I'm looking at 3 beers from local brewery, Bang the Elephant, who I'm good friends with. They released them, I think it was Monday night, and today is Wednesday. Luckily, they haven't sold out yet, but 40 quid for 3 beers, 3 impies, 40 quid. So that'd be the equivalent of about €38. If I don't know what a euro is to a pound these days. Is it about a pound? Is it parity these days? So yeah, 40 quid for 3. And I mean, this one here that I bought from Neon Raptor, that was literally 11 or 12 quid. So yeah, it's an expensive hobby if you like the big beers. The great thing is, I've been down the shed tonight looking for it's too bloody cold down. Yeah, freezing in the beer room. Yeah, I've come here where it's a bit warmer. Yeah, in the cake room, and I will be in the cake room unless it goes a bit warmer. then I'll flick down to the shed. It's great when I'm doing like lives, because I can be a bit longer up here. I'm not be freezing, sitting there in my big coat with my hood up, absolutely freezing with bits off. Although you can't talk as much in here as you can in the shed, to be fair. So it don't feel the same in the beer in here as it does in the shed. Sadly, you don't get the same vibe with all that beer sat on the wall behind you. So obviously coming up to the Christmas holidays, so I will be off, and I may chuck in a live from the shed. Not the advent calendars, they can stay here, but I'm not moving them up and down to the shed. It's too much hassle. But I may chuck in a beer review from the shed, albeit I want to be at the right temperature with the beer. So if it's an impy stout, it's got to be the right temperature. The good news is tonight I found me 3 bottles of missing Imperial Stout, so 6 litres of Imperial Stout that I homebrewed. Good evening, John. And yeah, it is too cold. €46 for free. That's for free, mate. That's for 3 beers. Hey. Is it more expensive in this country? It sounds like it is. When it's, I mean, they are 440 cans, so same size as that. But 12 and 13 percenters. One's 14, sorry. One's 12. One's probably 13. All barrel aged. I think 2 are barrel aged. Apricot brandy barrel aged. But again, you know, price comes into consideration. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I can buy a homebrew kit, Imperial Stout, and brew 40 litres. No, 40 pints. Well, not 40 litres. 40 pints for basically 44 quid. I can brew it. So I'm basically paying £1 a pint for Impy Stout. Now, that, you know, you can understand why people stay with homebrew or go down the homebrew route, because, and there's no duty as well. Yeah, frightening prices, aren't they? But I'm glad that I found me me Impy Stout. Anyway, better talk about this beer. So, Cloudwater, great to see them at Nottingham Craft Beer Festival. Yeah. Great to see them at Nottingham Craft Beer Festival this year for the 2nd year running. Good to see they had 2 people. Still hoping that Cloudwater, if they ever come back to Nottingham, actually bring their A game and bring out their barley wines and Impy Stouts. They had 2 machines on. And for me, I want to see cans of their beer there, merch. I'm not sure if there was merch there, to be fair, but more than what they did bring. Big brewery, want to see more. At least they did bring the Brewdog beers down, brew water. So it looks good. It looks nice. It's got a lovely look to it. Let's have a smell. Yeah, you can smell the tropical aroma. You can certainly smell that bit of dankness going through. Let's have a taste. Yeah, 8 minutes in. I need to have a taste. Oh, that is super easy drinking. That is bit of tropical, super smooth. You get the pillowy thing that they're on about. I'm not sure about the breath of fresh air or what. A breezy finish. Not sure about that, unless you've got bad wind. You know, there's a breezy finish. Not that everyone wants a breezy finish. In that respect, at least. So day 13 now. Morrison's doing 5 beers, £5 mixed beer. Are they now? What's the beers, Darren? Out of curiosity. I assume it's going to be your standard pedigree and all them sort of beers. But interesting to see if they've got interest in the mix. I was hoping that Rocky Rudolph would make its way to Morrison. Not been in Morrison's for ages. We've stopped shopping there because they're just too expensive. I mean, Sainsbury's is cheaper than Morrison's these days, which is ridiculous in this country. Sainsbury's were always probably one of the dearest. Not as dear as Waitrose and Marks and Sparks. but certainly not. But Morrison's now has jumped to probably the dearest supermarket. £5 for £5 though. Good for people on the budget. You know, the beer not be great. If it's bloody Hobgoblin, I won't bother. Have Hobgoblin bought new beers out? I got a strange thing the other day. I didn't know if it was a joke. They bought a Hobgoblin session IPA now. So I know they had Hobgoblin Ruby, which was the original Hobgoblin, Hobgoblin Gold, and Hobgoblin IPA. But I'm sure I read the other day, there's a Hobgoblin Session IPA out now. If that's the same thing or a different version of the IPA. They Carlsberg Marston's, are certainly diluting that brand. Shame to see, really. Not only have they ruined it by making the stuff cheap, nasty to drink, but now they're just robbing it. These big breweries are doing me chuckle. It's like Shepherd Neame with their glucose. It's yeah. I mean, I'm tempted to go and buy another Shepherd Neame beer and try and review it, and just to see if it's still the same, or if they've backtracked. Hopefully, a bit of bad publicity, they'll backtrack and just go back to how it used to be. You know, the old-fashioned way of brewing it. They're the only big brewery that I've seen do that. Some have lowered ABVs, but I think they've actually lowered the ABV and used glucose. So it's a double whammy. I'll have to bring that up. Morrison's, just double check Morrison's on me. The good thing that using the Chromebook is you can actually do your Morrison's 5 for £5. And here we go. Yeah, buy 5 for £5. Here we go. Although it does say order by the 7th for £9.21. No. Hold on a minute. Let's double check it. Hobgoblin Session is at Morrison's, right? Yeah. So yeah, Lancaster Bomber, 5 Catcher Golden Beer, Marston's English Pale, Hobgoblin Session IPA, and Green King IPA. Oh, I don't think I bother with any of them. Yeah. I've moved on. I mean, good evening, Shane. I'm not, what's the word, a brand snob. But some of them beers are absolutely shocking. Bloody Man's Brown Ale. Oh, fucking hell, it's rough. Pardon my French. I'd rather pay. This is the Advent Calendar beer, mate. Yeah, this is day 13. So I've actually... I put the Advent Calendar on starter with, and then 5 minutes before I've done the review, I've actually wrote down which the beer is. Just so that Google catches it, YouTube catches it rather. Yeah, they're not the greatest, are they? 5 for £5. Yeah. I mean, if you're really hard up and you need a cheap beer, then yeah. But I'd go down the bloody homebrew route. I would. I'd rather go down the homebrew route. If I need cheap beer, I'd rather get a beer kit. If I've got the means to brew it already, do the 40, get 40 pints, get a 10 or 12 pound kit, fucking add a bit of sugar, add a bit to it, make sure you brew it properly. And, you know, you're looking at something like, I don't know, what, 30 pence, 40 pence a pint. Especially if you had a bit of flavour into it. You know, there's things you can do to homebrew. But, yeah, those cheap beers now. I mean, I used to look at the cheap beers, but not them cheap beers. No. They're all limits. Does seem to be getting worse with the cheap stuff as well, doesn't it? So obviously tonight, Cloudwater. I think they learnt a lesson from their Brewdog collaboration, as it were. Those 4 beers that went into Tesco's were not the greatest. I couldn't tell the difference between any one of them. Tasted all 4, even the flipping low alcohol one or alcohol free, whichever it was, it tasted the same as the rest. They all tasted orangey, and that was it. Obviously, the water's not the same as Manchester, and obviously, even if the brewing processes aren't the same, always better to have a beer brewed in the same place as it always is, because of that. Water. It's like when Nottingham beer is brewed in Marston's; it don't taste the bloody same. Harvest Pale does not taste the same when it comes out of a bottle as it does when it comes out of cask. Is what it is on that side of things, I suppose. But yeah. And the ABV is 0.6 higher. And I've always wondered this, why they fuck about with ABVs. If you're used to having a beer at a certain ABV, so whatever that ABV is, the original ABV for the beer, why play about with it and move it up or down? It's like Adnam's Broadside, 6.3 in bottle, 4.7 in cask. And that's a ridiculous blooming jump. Don't understand. I mean, maybe 0.1 or 0.2, I don't know, for duty reasons, but Lancaster Bomber used to be decent on cask. Have you heard that yesterday that Ringwood Brewery is just going to close? Nobody's coming in to buy it. To be honest, Ringwood Brewery, not got the best of names recent years. You'd buy the equipment, but you wouldn't want the brewery. The brewery name, Marston's have ruined the brewery name, haven't they? I mean, out of all the breweries, Wychwood is probably the one to buy if it ever gets sold. And if you can buy their beers, Bar Humbug, Black Witch, Goliath, and all them sort of beers, it'd be nice to see that brought back. But I think Ringwood, and that's in the Salisbury area, because we actually drove past it on the way to Dark Revolution, or after Dark Revolution, I'm not sure. Dark Revolution and Downton Brewery. Downton, same as the house on the TV. So, lovely looking colour on this. Like I say, nice tropical notes on the aroma. That is a really nice, soft, easy drinking beer. Don't see a lot of Cloudwater in the pubs I go to. And I'm going to have to start going to different pubs, because I went to the pub last night with the wife. It's our friend's birthday. Went to the Star Inn in Beeston and walked in. There were 5 lines on cask, not on. So out of the 10 lines, 5 not on, which was a bit. And what they did have on was just too. I actually had. I do enjoy beer. I actually had Thornbridge's Astrid on cask. I've got to be honest, I like Thornbridge, but Astrid is a flipping. It didn't taste great last night. Got to worry about your taste buds. When beers don't taste great. Didn't rate it at all. Then I went on to Lenton Lane and their stout, whatever it's called. And again, that didn't taste great either. And it's like, bloody hell, rough. So, for those who don't know Cloudwater, it's a Manchester-based brewery. I suppose you'd class them as one of the leading craft beer breweries in the UK. Certainly got a big reputation. I've never had any of their big beers. They are pricey beers, for those who don't know Cloudwater. But as most of the big breweries are these days, they put a lot more hops into the beer, so the beer is going to be more pricey. It is what it is. Modern traditional beers are usually a lot cheaper. With some of the breweries even cheap, using methods like putting glucose in instead of actually doing the proper brewing job. Even cheaper still. Is that Tajski Polish lager? Yeah, there are some good lagers out there, to be fair. There are. Much better than your standard bloody Carling, Fosters and Carlsbergs. And I mean, to be fair, Heineken want rid of Foster's out of the UK because they don't make their money on it. Certainly in pubs. So all them pubs you go to that have got the £2, I don't know, £2.50 pints or whatever they are these days, like your John Smith's, Foster's, and that. I know, because I've been told, that Heineken want rid of those brands. They basically want you to buy more dearer beer or dearer lager, as the world is, as it is. And the only problem with them brands, not even that great anyway, but for somebody who likes a cheap drink, it is what it is. I still think that a decent beer is better than a lager and cheaper most of the time. So, tasting lovely, easy drinking, refreshing. 5.8% ABV. Juicy IPA certainly lives up to that juicy. It's a nice beer. And again, the Smiling Grape Advent Calendar, to be fair, maybe apart from the Green King beer the other day, to be fair, it's been a decent Advent Calendar. 60 quid delivered. You can't fault it. I will have a look at the date on the can, just for those who want to know. Oh, help. So the best before was February 2024. So, I've had people saying to me, yeah, but all their beers are short date or out of date. Well, the fact of the matter is that if it's February next year, you've still got another 2 months. So obviously it's not super, super fresh. But then again, super fresh, you'd be looking at probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 quid a can, is it? So to get it at that price is a decent deal. 24 beers equates to what? £2.50 each. £2.50 each. You can't fault it. Although next year, I may look at doing an advent calendar from one particular brewery next year, just to see which brewery I'm going to choose. And it's getting beers that I've never had before, and it's difficult. It is difficult. There's a couple of breweries out there that I really like the sound of. I don't ever want a beer that's replicated, because what's the point? Can't review an advent calendar and then 5 days in you get the same beer comes out. It's like, well, fucking hell, I'm not having that. And yeah, I mean, we've got some local breweries who bring out advent calendars, and I know that the beers are replicated, and it's like, that's not an advent calendar. An advent calendar is always about getting something different, something new every day. And I know breweries, when they want to, can release small batches of beer, just enough to cover the advent calendars even. Say they say, right, we're going to make 200 advent calendars, so we'll do 200 cans of each of these beers. Dead easy to do. Small batch brewing. I know this because I've seen the breweries. I've seen what breweries do. But anyway, cheers all. Hoping to break up from work on Friday, so hopefully I put my holidays in, but they haven't been agreed yet. So yeah, I'm already off from next Thursday, a week Thursday. Good evening, Paul. How are you? Is Track Brewing everything it's made out to be? I think Track are a fantastic brewery. There are people who have Track more than me, like some Mersey beers. Certainly Benjamin, he's not around tonight. But yeah, Sonoma, we had it on cask, and yeah, it was absolutely top notch. And they do some good deals. Track do, it's if they brought out an advent calendar, as long as it's cheap enough, this price is always a consideration. Unless you've got money to spend, price is a consideration on these things. But yeah, Track, well worth it. They do mini kegs. Their range, I get spammed to death from Track. For God's sakes, if you sign up to their emails, put it in the junk folder. straight away, because you'll get emails all the time, and they're lethal, but they are a good brewery nonetheless. So yesterday, in the reviews yesterday that I did that weren't live, I was talking about beer festivals. And you know, the price of beer festivals is going up and up and up. And it's great to go to a beer festival. But in some ways, how do they make money on £2.50 a pint only by using cheap ingredients? Lager costs the most. It's strange, John. It is strange. Someone from Beavertown, one of their sales reps, who came to my hotel where I work, told me that basically they make no money on John Smith's, Heineken, John Smith's, Strongbow, Foster's, and there was another one as well. The ones that do super cheap, they make no money on them. So they're basically trying to dump them brands to go to the more premium brands to get more profit. That's what I was told. So, you know, they're not going to admit to it, but yeah, going back to beer festivals, and we've talked about this in our private chat, quite a few of us. This thing we're paying 25. Like if you look at the Robin Hood Beer Festival this year, paid 25 quid a head to get in on a Friday night. 25 quid a head. Cost of transport down and back. I can't even remember getting home. Yeah, woke up at 4 a.m. like, fucking hell, I'm home. But yeah, these things happen. But I had some great beer though. Yeah, fantastic beer nonetheless. But yeah, 25 quid to get in. So me and the wife, 50 quid. Cost the bus into town, 4 quid each to get into town. So that's 54. Taxi home. So we're looking at over 100 quid. And literally for what? 5 pints each. Now, go to a pub, 5 pints each. Even strong pints, you know, a local craft beer bar pub, you know, you'd be looking at 50, 60 quid. And yeah, it does. I am looking this year thinking, no, I'm not going to do it. I look at Castle Rock's Yard Party, same there, 15 quid to get in, 5 for a third. The beers are no cheaper. The food's not cheap, and you know, it makes for an expensive time. I see when I go to these beer festivals, I see pubs down there, so I assume that trade tickets are given out to pubs and breweries for them to come in on the first night. And you know, I'm at that stage now where I'm thinking, I think I'd rather be in a nice pub, drinking a beer in a pub, craft beer pub, that I know what's on, go in there, supporting the pub, rather than supporting a beer festival with overinflated prices. And I'm sure around the country, people have noticed this. Some of these beer festivals now are getting very expensive. And the thing with Canberra beer festivals is you see the Cameron people. I mean, a lot of them volunteer, fair play. But they're on the beer all day long. And it's like, fucking hell, it's like for whatever they're getting paid, if they drink enough and can stay sober, they're actually quids in. So on that side of things, and obviously next year, no Great British Beer Festival. That's been cancelled. Although they did themselves no favours by having Green King with Abbott Ale winning second place. I mean, fucking hell. Abbott Ale, yeah, it's not bad in the bottle, I suppose. I've been to many Green King pubs, and it's not that great on cask. It is not. So you produce the best version of Abbott Ale, the original version for the beer festival, and you know, who knows if backhanders went across and all that bollocks. but it does make you chuckle. It does. And so no Great British Beer Festival next year. Although the biggest problem with that is it's in London. London is so bloody overpriced and awkward to get to. Better off in Nottingham, where at least there's decent beer in Nottingham. Lots of decent breweries. Paid £7.25 for a pint of Moretti at the Christmas market bar. We went down last Friday, Paul, and it's a much more condensed winter wonderland in Nottingham. Only about Nottingham. But yeah, we went down last Friday. Wasn't impressed with any of it. And we ended up going to the Barrel Drop and then going home. We was going to go to Neon Raptor and Liquid Light, but me and the wife couldn't be bothered to walk, so we just went home. Hello, Billy, my friend. Electric scooters are very nice. Yeah, electric scooters, these electric bikes. And you get these electric like motorbike jobbies. And fucking hell, they're going faster than the ones that you can hear. When I was at the Arboretum, they wanted to give me an electric van, and I refused, primarily because you're on a public park. People walking, they can't hear. You could kill somebody. And yeah, a lot of prats on electric scooters. I mean, there's a lot of prats in cars, but at least they're paying their bloody insurance. Most of them. Went to Peterborough Beer Festival last year. It was £6. £6's not a bad price, mate. No, £6 I can deal with. Dave, our man Dave, off the channel, Dave Fell. He, I forgot his bloody nickname now. No, it's gone. Go Ted Dave. That's it. He was at the Peterborough Beer Festival. There's no premium lager left in this country, brewed by monopoly brewers. It's all crap. Yeah. And you'll find out that a lot of the stuff that's here in bottles is actually brewed in this country as well by the same bloody breweries. So, you know, unless you know it's brewed abroad by the real people who brew the bit lager, then most of it's brewed on license in this country. So again, brewed on license, not the same stuff, you know. It's sad, really, in that respect. And again, I'd rather in pubs, and these days in pubs, lager's way more expensive than cask beer. So if you ever think about moving from lager to beer, it's a good time to do it, because lager in a lot of places now, that beer of Moretti, £6 a pint at the Star Inn, where you can get a pint of cask at as low as £3.30 for cask beer. That's if you like beer, obviously. Depends if you like lager or beer. Always makes me chuckle when the wife has a lager and lager shandy. It's more fucking expensive than my beer is, because it's half a lager, half a lemonade. Lemonade pop out of a fucking squeezy syrupy thing that comes in a bag of syrup with goes through CO2 or whatever it goes through, and water, and that's more expensive than my beer. Yeah. So we go out for a night, and her stuff's like 50% more expensive every single pint. Yeah. You need to start drinking real ales. Oh, I am so ready for Christmas. I am. I'm hoping tomorrow that they sort out my holidays, or I'm going in Friday and I'm badgering, and I'll say, "Have you sorted my holidays out?" Hopefully, I won't get to that stage. But you know when you book an holiday and no one okays it, or you request it and it's not gone through, and it's like, sort that out. So at the moment, I'm either breaking up Friday, which would be amazing, or I'm breaking up next Wednesday, which would be shit. Good evening, Disco. This is actually my work jumper. So I got this from, I think it was Lidl last year, to be fair. So, yeah, I should be wearing a Christmas jumper on beer reviews all the way up to Christmas. And if anything, it's just warm, because this is the cake room, and we've got, because of damp issues, we live in 100-year-old house, so flipping damp is an absolute pain in the arse. So we've got 2 air vents on the bottom of the wall, which makes this room chilly. Even with the heating on, it's chilly. Stops the damp, but I heard Christmas was cancelled this year due to technical difficulties and lack of interest. There's no lack of interest at Raggy's house. Yeah, I've got the outside lights on, and Christmas trees up. Not so many Christmas trees this year, to be fair. Normally we've had a Christmas tree in here. We'd have one at the top of the stairs in one of the bedrooms, but no Christmas upstairs this year. Yeah, we've got a dog now, so yeah. Well, she's dossing on the settee, so she's all right. She's out of the way of it all. Bless the little cotton sockies. Yeah. Yeah. I'm lying next to her this morning. She's snoring her head off, and I'm like, I've got to go to fucking work. You're snoring, and I've got to go to work. I let her out for a wee at 5:30. 5:30, letting the dog out for a wee. I mean, what's that about? Hey, in my boxer shorts and the jumper. Hey, absolutely freezing. I had a wet arse as well. Yeah, the seat was wet outside. Yeah, next time I'll put some trousers on. Although I'll still get wet trousers if that's the case. But it was chilly this morning. Ball on summer. Yeah. Although once we've had her a while, she's not been going out for an early bloody wee out in the garden. She can wait till 7:30 when everybody else wakes up. Let them take her out for a wee. I like my peace and quiet in the morning, to be fair. A pint of lime or orange for 3p. Jesus Christ, when was that? Just tried the chocolate peanut butter Ballycastle, really good. I did see you put that on the group, mate, earlier. Sure, I had that last year. Absolutely sure I had that last year. Not sure I did a review, though. I think I just necked it. You know, sometimes you don't need to do a review, do you? And with how unappreciative our local breweries are, and pubs and fucking camera. Can't be arsed these days. But yeah, I'm sure I had that last year. I've not seen it, though. I love the Ballycastle range. Long may they do lots of different ones. Winter spiced, autumn spiced Ballycastle. That's what we need. It's funny because they did autumn spice for a while, and then they stopped doing it, both Baileys and Aldi. And then they stopped doing it. But the autumn spiced, whatever they called it, fucking lovely. Absolutely loved it. I could drink gallons of the stuff. Don't care what the ABV is. And I mean, if it's $6.99 and it's a 750ml bottle, it's like having Impy in it. So you might as well crack the bottle open, drink the bottle. Job's a good one. I would anyway, but that's just me, being me. So yeah, Cloudwater, Infinite Space, Juicy IPA, 5 point whatever it is, 8%. And as you can see, for those now and in the future, lovely orangey pour white edge. You can't fault Cloudwater for their beers. They really are nice. Gingerbread one. Ooh. I've had the gingerbread one. That was last year or the year before. Definitely had the gingerbread one, Disco. There's a brewery, talking directly to Disco. There's a brewery that I'm good friends with in Bridlington, Brid Brewer. And I'm going to have a chat to him because he's done 5 different raggy beers at the moment. And I'm going to chat to him, see if he's interested in doing beers for other beer reviewers, to like honour other beer reviewers. So I'm going to chat to him and see what he thinks. Because there's a lot of great beer reviewers in this country where a certain beer would mean the world. Like with me, with the beers that I've done with breweries. It's a special moment. Bridlington's a bit of a trek to get to, man. Just depends where you are in the country, obviously. For some people, it's not far. For me, it's in 3 hours. But still, going over the next year, September, I think. Memory serves me correctly. But yeah, tropical nose on this, orangey pour. It's super soft, and after 39 minutes, smells lovely. Keg beer is far too cold. I don't mind having a tropical beer at room temperature. I think sometimes it's actually better. Super soft, super soft rather. Smoffed. What the fuck's smoffed? God, that's without being drunk. Jesus Christ, can't get drunk on a 5.8%. I mean, really. Sneaky beer review later. You know, sneaky beer later. Yeah. Anybody see that phone go up then? So, in essence, a lovely beer from Cloudwater Brew Company. I really do respect this brewery. I'm drinking a very disco pale ale from our local Perry Vale, but paid 30 quid for the privilege. Ooh, as part of a crowdfunder, worth every penny. We all do things like that, don't we? You know, there's moments where money's not the consideration; it's what it means to us. And I mean, I took a day off work to brew the, you know, to go to the brewery to collab with Alter Ego to brew the Ragnify beer. And it was an amazing day, you know, a fantastic brewery. You know, if you ever up this neck of the woods to Nottingham, Derby area, yeah, cracking brewery. But there are so many great breweries in this country. If there's something about beer, you know, the breweries, there's so many fantastic breweries. And I don't mean the big macro breweries that don't give a shit. The breweries that do give a shit are the ones that I like, you know. And not all locals give a shit either, you know. But there you go. Can't win them all, can you? But yeah, cracking beer. Would I drink this again? Yes. Love to have it in the pub. The pub I'd probably most likely to get it in would be the Pottle in Beeston. Great craft beer pub that has a good diverse range of different beers. All day long, good 4.5 out of 5. And I've just noticed how long I've been on. Whoa, bollocking. So, better run. Thank you all for watching, commenting, and joining in. And we'll see you tomorrow, 5 o'clock-ish. Cheers. And probably about 8-ish. Unless the boys got karate, then it's 9-ish. But see you soon. Cheers.